Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of 40 and Beyond. I am actually waiting for a flight, but it has been a while that I'm supposed to be doing a video on how to do your US visa renewal. So I'm gonna just try and see how quickly I can get through this. Now, there are two steps to the process. One is completing an application form, which is called a DS-160 form. The site that you would go on to do that is a ceac.gov/GENNIV/. You'll go onto that site and you will see the first question. It will ask you where you're applying for your visa, so you will select your country. I'm in Jamaica, so I'll select Jamaica. I'm going to try and show you what that page looks like. Alright, so this
Once again, customers in groups 1 through 8 now boarding for Newark.
Alright, so this is the page you'll select. It will ask you where you're applying from. You'll select. You'll get a drop down option. So I'm applying from Jamaica, so I will select Jamaica. I'm actually on
now boarding group 9 to Newark.
The airport's Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure it will carry me all the way through, but just for you to get an understanding, you'll put in a security, a code for them to confirm that you're human. This one is NHMTY. You'll select it, and it will take you some frequently asked questions. I'm sorry, this is not what it's supposed to take me to. This isn't the page. Alright, let me just go back again, guys. After you selected that, I'm sorry, you should go down to start an application. Wrong thing I selected. So you're gonna go to start. Let me put over the code. What is this? TX, is that correct? And you go to start an application. When you start an application, they'll ask you for your mother's maiden name. Well, they'll ask you for some security questions, and you'll select, I think it's 2 security questions. It's not allowing me to continue from here. I'm on the airport's Wi-Fi. So you'll select your security questions and you'll start the process of answering your question. Alright guys, so in answering your questions, if you're reapplying for a visa that you already have, say you have a B1, B2, they'll ask you that information, if your application is the same as before, same visa, nothing has changed, you're not in financing any terrorist activity, you have never been charged or convicted for any crimes in your country. They'll go through some basic questions and they'll ask you to submit your passport information. They'll ask you to submit your visa information that you had prior. So once your visa has not been expired over 48 months, you can go through a renewal process where you're highly likely to be selected to not have to go in to do an interview. After you've completed the DS-160, you're going to be required to create an account. So back in the days, you were required to select an appointment date, pay for your visa, whether it be online or at the bank, and select an appointment date. No longer will you have to select an appointment date. What will happen is that you'll create an account. I'm going to tell you the website that you go to create your account. This is where it will tell you if you will only drop off your application at a designated location in your country, or it will give you a date for your appointment. But typically, once it's within 4 years that you're doing this renewal, it's the same type of visa, none of your information has changed, it is highly likely that you won't have to go in to do an interview. So I'm about to tell you the website that you go to complete the
final boarding call for Newark. All customers should be on board at this time.
I'm going to tell you the website that you go to, that you'll create your account and then finish the remainder of this process. Alright guys, so for my own personal privacy, I'm just actually using my hand to lock up some information of the DS-160 form that I got. You will also be required to upload a picture, a passport size picture on the system. they will give you the requirements in terms of the sizing to upload the picture. It doesn't have to be notarized or anything like that. So you'll get a DS-160 form like this, which will also have a confirmation number, which you will use when you're creating your account. All right, so when creating your account, you will go on a site that's the website is AISA-VISA-NIV/SIGN_sign. So it's a page where you're going to select to do a sign in. Let me just see if I can move down to show you where you'll see right here where it says sign in. You'll select sign in. If you've done this application process before, you will have already created an account. If not, you're going to create one. So you're going to select create an account. If you have a user information already, you will put it in here, but if you've never done it before, you're going to go to create an account. When you select create an account, there is a DS-160 number that you're going to put in. So they're going to ask you these questions. Let me see if I can scroll down a bit. If you're a diplomat, if you're a citizen or resident of Jamaica, and you have completed a U.S. non-immigrant visa application, if you're I'm not a citizen or resident of Jamaica or Cayman. So you see, it gives you all the options here that you'll go through. So I would have selected that I'm a citizen resident of Jamaica, and once you've selected that, it will take you through the remainder of the process, right? And you'll fill in your information here where you put in your email address. Please use an email address that you can get access to, because this is where they're going to be sending all other communication to you. So just ensure it's an email that you have never used to create another DS-160 US visa application. Because what happened to me is that I had an email address that was used to create an account for my daughter, and as such I couldn't reuse it, so I had to input another email address, and as such my DS-160 was not able to be linked to this account that I created. Never posed a problem, but if it's the same email, it can be linked. Now, one thing I want to point out to you when going through the process, they will ask you if it's the same type of visa you're applying for or if it's a different visa you're applying for. Now, one question that posed a problem for me was that let me just go to I'm just gonna find an email. One question that posed a problem for me was a question where it asks, is the applicant traveling from another country other than the Cayman Islands and Guantanamo Bay to apply for this for a visa in Jamaica? I had selected yes. If you select yes and you're applying from Jamaica, it will give you an interview date. So you're supposed to select no once you're in Jamaica applying for the visa in Jamaica. When you do that, it will then tell you that, advise you that they'll send an email indicating what next to do. It will tell you will no longer need to do, you won't need to do a US visa interview. But if you select yes, you may get an interview date. So that is just one question I wanted to point out to you. But guys, once your information is the same type of visa you're reapplying for, you're applying for it out of Jamaica, nothing has changed, no criminal record, it's highly likely you won't have to do an interview. When I submitted it was about a week after doing the application, they emailed me to drop off the information, my passport, and you drop off your passport that had any old visa to the location. I'm going to show you the location also in this video. When you drop off your visa, normally they'll give you an email today. It's required to be dropped off tomorrow. If not, you're going to have to set an interview date. When you drop off, it took about 1 day, less than 2 weeks it took for me to get back my visa, and then I was done. So remember, it's a DS-160 form that needs to be done first, and then you need to create an account, go through a process which it will tell you if you need to do an interview or you won't be required to do an interview. But if you have a visa and you're applying for the same type of visa, it has not expired over the last 4 years, it's highly likely you won't need to do an interview. So I hope this video is informative and will help some persons, because I know some persons go through a travel agent because they don't know the process of applying online. It's quite simple, guys. State all correct information. They'll ask you for your last 5 track trips to the United States. They'll also ask you if any of your information has changed. Just ensure the information you're providing is accurate. They'll ask you if you're currently working. Ensure all information is accurate, guys. Makes no sense to tell any lies. They will know that you're telling a lie. All right, so see you again for another 40 and all right, guys, so I'm on the road. This is the location that you pick up your new or renewed visa. It is 19 Arden Road. The plaza is called the Arden Emirates. I'll show you a closer picture of the signage. So turning off, I think it's Hope Road. It's Hope Road. It's a road that Arden High School is on, and it's this green and brown, or if you want to call it somewhat orange looking color building, and it's upstairs and to the left. And I'm sorry, it's not 19 Arden Road. I'm gonna give you the correct address, but the shop number is 19. So it's shop 19 Arden Emirates that you pick up your new or renewed visa. This is the plaza, guys. So when you come in, you'll look for that area. You'll go upstairs on the first floor and you'll make the right after you come off the step. When you come down the step, you make the right and you just continue right, and the shop will be on your left, and it's 19.